Good day, grade 12 learners. So I am opening my YouTube channel so that I can help you with question papers and how to answer them. So I am starting with the exam from 2020, the November one. So I am going to be doing question one in this video. So we have question one, which is just algebra. So I'll just take you through how you do it, and next time I'll do other questions. Okay, so for the first one, we are required to solve for x. So 1.1.1, we have x squared minus 6x is equal to 0, okay? So then we have a new shape of where I'm going to be writing this. Okay, so we have 1.1.1. So we have, okay, I'm trying to look at, we have x squared minus 6x. X squared minus 6x is equal to 0. So they want us to solve for x. So the first step for this one, we have to factorize to get the values of x. So how do we factorize this? So we have x squared in the first term, and we have minus 6x in the second term. So we have a common factor, which is x. So just take out the x, then you'll be left with x minus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, when you have this form where everything is equal to 0, you can just say, take this vector, equate it to 0, then you say, or x minus 6, you equate it to 0 as well. So we already have the solution for this one. For the other one, we have x is equal to positive 6, because we transpose the 6, which was negative, now it becomes a positive. Okay, so let's go and look at the second question. So for the second question, they want us to find x squared plus 10x plus 8 is equal to 0. Then they say correct to 2 decimal places. So when they have this part, usually it's more of a giveaway, it's a hint to tell you that you need to use the quadratic formula. So let's copy this down, then we can find the value of x. Okay, so 1.1.2, so we have x squared plus 10x plus 8. Okay, to 0. So they said correct to 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places. Okay. So let's first start by taking out the quadratic formula. So it's going to be x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. Okay, so this is coming from a form where ax squared plus b x plus c. So you need to know how to find the a, the b, the c. Okay, so in this case, a will be equals to 1 and b will be equals to 10 and c is equal to 8. It's just the constant, while b is the coefficient of x and a is the coefficient of x squared. Okay, so now we need to substitute in the equation for the quadratic. So it's x is equal to, we said that b is 10, so it's going to be minus 10 plus or minus square root of 10 squared minus 4. Our a is 1 and our c is 8. Okay, divided by 2, then the a is 1 as well. So we can clean this up, and later we will use the calculator to find the solution. So let's clean this up first. So it's going to be minus 10 plus or minus square root of. So it's 100 minus 4 times 8. We have 8, 16, 24, 32. So it's 32. Okay, divided by 2. Okay, so what we can do now is x is equal to minus 10 plus or minus square root of. So 100 minus 32, it's 68. Yeah, it's 68 divided by 2. So for us to find the solution, we would have to split this to accommodate both signs that you have, especially the plus or minus. Okay, they mean that you're going to have two solutions. Okay, so for the first one, you'd have x is equal to minus 10. You can take the positive or the negative, it's up to you. Minus square root of 68, all divided by 2. Then you say all. Then you say x is equal to, now you take for the positive, minus 10. Then you have plus square root of 68, all divided by 2. Okay, let us work this out in a calculator. You have to put it as it is. We have minus 10 minus square root of 68 divided by 2. Okay, x is equal to minus 9.12. Okay, let's go to the other one. So for that one, okay, we do the same thing. So we'd have minus 10. Now we put the plus. So plus square root of 68 divided by 2. Okay, we get minus 0.88. We got a minus 0.876 because we're rounding up to two decimal places, so we rounded up to 8. So that is our answer for this one. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, so for the next question, we want to find the inequality of 1 minus x and two factors, 1 minus x and x plus 2, which is less than 0. So for this one, okay, so 1.1.3, okay, so let me 1 minus x plus 2, then they say less than 0. Okay, so for this one, you can't do it like the first one because you have an inequality sign. So there's a way that you need to do this by. So the first thing, you need to find the critical point. So your critical point, you just say 1 minus x is equal to 0, or x plus 2 is equal to 0. So we have to solve for x. X is equal to 1. I just took this negative x to the other side. Then I say x is equal to 1. Then I solve for this one as well. I took the plus 2 to become minus 2. Okay, so now we need to have a number line. Okay, there are two ways to do this. You can do the number line way or the table way. So I'll just do the number line because it's quite easier and fast. Okay, so you start by the smaller number. In our case, we have minus 2 as the smaller number. Then we have 1 as the bigger number in this case for our critical value. So I represent them in a number line, okay? So what happens now, you have to pick any value which is less than minus 2. So if I were to pick -3, because -3 is less than -2, then I'm going to have to substitute it in this part. So I'm interested in the sign that is going to arise after I have done the whole thing. So let me just write it on the side. So I pick a number that is less than -2, which is -3. I'll just say x is equal to -3. Yes. Okay. Then I'll just have a line there. Then I take that is 1 minus. Then I put the -3. Then I have the other vector -3 plus 2. Okay, so for this one, it's 1 plus, because negative times negative is positive. So it's going to be 1 plus 3. So we'll have a positive 4. Then for the other one, it's going to be -3 plus 2. We'll have a -1, right? So we have to multiply these two. When we are multiplying these two, we end up with a -4, because when you multiply a positive number and a negative number, you get a negative number. So we'll just take that overall sign and present it here. So we'll just put a minus there. Okay, so now let's move on to the other one, the other regions. Okay, so now we are interested in the region that is this one, that is in between -2 and 1. So this is the region we're looking at now. So let's pick any value. So I usually, when we have something like this, because 0 is in between here, let's just pick 0. It becomes easier, right? Then we take the same thing. So it's 1 minus 0. Then we have 0 plus 2. So we have 1 and +2. When we multiply these two, we get a +2. So we'll just take a side and represent it here. Okay, so let's go for the other region, the one where x is greater than 1. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Pick any number that is greater than 1. Okay, when we pick greater than 1 in this case, let's pick 2. I think 2 is quite easier. X is equal to 2. Then we do the same thing. It's going to be 1 minus 2. Then we have 2 plus 2. Okay, 1 minus 2 is -1. Then 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, so -1 times 4 is equal to -4. Okay, so we take the sign here. Okay, so now we have found what we are looking for. We are looking for a region where our values of x, when we multiply them or equate them or substitute in these vectors, they give us values that are less than 0. So the factors that the regions that we are interested in is this one and this one, because values which are less than 0 are the ones which are negative. So we are interested in those regions. So now we have to represent these ones. You can write them in 2 ways. I'll just represent those in 2 ways. So the first way, you can say x is less than -2, or for the upper region, you can say x is greater than 1. So this one is correct. You can represent it like this. Another way, you can say x is an element. Then you would say -infinity up to -2, close the bracket. So we're using the round bracket because we don't have the or equal to. So we'll use a round bracket for this case. Okay. Then we have a union because there's another solution greater than 1. So we'll just say 1 to +infinity. Even this one is correct. So it's up to you which one you pick. Both of them are correct as long as you understand what you are doing. So it's up to you. Okay. So let's go to the next question. Okay. So for this question, we have x plus y is equal to 3 and 2x squared plus 4xy minus y is equal to 15. They said we should solve simultaneously for x and y. Okay, so let me take this down. Okay, I have a new shape first. So solve, so it's 1.2 simultaneously. Okay, x plus y is equal to, okay, 3 Okay, for the second one, we have 2x squared plus 4xy minus, okay, y is equal to 15. So we have these two. So when you're solving for simultaneous equations, it's up to you which one you want to make the subjects of the formula. So I can just pick x. X is equal to, I make x the subject, so it's going to be 3 minus y from the first equation. So I can just say this. Then after that, let me just write them in another way. Let me just name them from the start. So this will be 1, this would be 2, and the one that I've just done will be 3. Okay, so you have to say what you're doing. So we substitute equation 3 into equation 2. Okay, so where we have x, you're going to plug in 3 minus y. So it's 3 minus y squared plus 4. Okay, where we have x, we substitute 3 minus y. Then we have another y. Minus y is equal to 15. So for these ones, you really have to be careful how you go further with these ones. So just write it like this first so that you won't get confused. Don't do a shortcut, just write it like this. Then we have 4y, 3 minus y is equal to 15. Okay, so now we have to distribute that part, this one. Okay, so we have 2, then just open a big bracket. So 3 times 3, we have 9. 3 times minus y is minus 3y. Minus y times 3, we have minus 3y again. And minus y times minus y is plus y squared. Okay, plus. So you have to multiply these two now. So 4y times 3, we have a 12y minus, okay, I'm taking this minus because plus 4y times minus y, we'll have minus 4y squared. Minus y is equal to 15, okay? So now we have to simplify this. Just write it here. So 2 times 9, okay, before I go there, I can just say 2. 9 minus 3, okay, we have a 6y. When we add these two because they are like terms. So it's going to be 6y plus y squared plus, okay, these two are also like terms. We can just add them. So we'll have 12y minus y, we'll have an 11y minus 4y squared. Okay, is equal, okay, we can just take this 15 to this side. is equal to 0. Okay, so let's distribute these two. We'll have 18 minus 12y plus 2y squared plus 11y minus 4y squared minus 15. Okay, let's collect all the like terms. Okay, now, so I have a like term numbers. Okay, we have 18 minus 15, so it's going to be 3. I can write it here, plus 3. So another like term is this one, minus 4y squared plus 2y squared. So when I add these two, they are going to give me minus 2y squared. Okay, the other like terms would be this one and this one. So when I add these two, I'm going to be left with minus, it's minus 12 minus plus 11. So it's going to be minus y is equal to 0. I have accommodated all the like terms. Okay, so now we have to simplify this, factorize it. So what I can do now, I can divide by a negative. So when I divide each term by a negative, I'll be left with 2y squared plus y minus 3 is equal to 0. I'm only dividing by a negative because it's easier when y squared is positive. That's why you can leave it like that, but it's easier when y squared is positive. Okay, so now we have to factorize. Okay, so when you are factorizing, you really have to be careful. So you have a 2y for this one, you have a y for this one. Okay, the way you pick your number, you have to make sure when you add those numbers, they give you this one. So we have a 2y, so you really have to be careful. Your factors will be 3 and 1. So if you were to multiply 3 times 2, you'll get a bigger number, which is 5. And it's going to give us a problem. You can't get this one. But if you multiply 2 times this one, it will give us a positive 2y. When we subtract that one from 3y, we will get the positive y. So our factors would be, for this one, 1, for this one would be 3. Okay, then as for signs, this one would be positive and this one would be negative. So these are our factors. Okay, you can even check these two will give us 2y squared. This and this is minus 2y, this and this is 3y. When we add them, we'll get a positive y. Then these two, when we multiply them, they give us a minus 3. So we do get what we are coming from. Okay, so now let's just 2y plus 3 is equal to 0, or y minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so now we have to solve for these two. So the first y would be minus 3. Okay, let me just not have a shortcut. Then we divide by 2, divided by 2. Therefore, y is equal to minus 3 over 2. Then for this one, we'll just have y is equal to 1. So this one is quite easier. Okay, so you are not done when you have this. You only have y values. You are also looking for x values. Okay, so for the x value, we had said in our equation 3 that x is equal to 3 minus y. Okay, we have to have that as well. X is equal to 3 minus y. Okay, so now for the first solution, we have to substitute. It's going to be 3 minus 3 over 2. Okay, x is equal to 3. We have a negative, so it's going to be plus 3 over 2. Okay, we don't need to use the calculator. We can just use the LCD rule. So we'll multiply by 2 over 2 because the LCM or LCD is 2. It's LCD is. So we have the same denominator now, which is 2. So for this one, it would be 6 plus 3. Then we have 9/2. You can leave it like this. Then for the other one, for y is equal to 1, you just take the 1. So x is equal to 3 minus 1. So x is equal to positive 2. So this is the answer for this one. Okay, so we can leave the session for today here. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.